Hello all David Farm viewers! Have you ever eaten a banana with the peel on? The peel of a normal banana is astringent and slightly bitter, so most of us eat bananas without the peel. However, strangely, in Japan, people can eat the whole banana, including the peel, just like they eat apples or peaches. Could it be that the Japanese like the taste of the banana peel? So today, let's explore with us the reason why the Japanese can eat bananas with the peel on. The banana that the Japanese eat with the peel is not the usual banana that we eat, but a special banana produced by the Japanese themselves. This unique banana variety is called mangi banana, and the peel can be eaten. These bananas are rare, produced in small quantities, and are considered a luxury fruit in Japan. They sell for a very high price, around 650 to 1,000 yen, about $5 to $7 per banana, which is the price you would pay for 20 regular bananas in a supermarket in the US. So, how do the Japanese breed these bananas to make them so expensive? Mangi bananas are grown in controlled environments, often in greenhouse systems that can easily be cooled to -60 degrees Celsius and then suddenly raised to 26 degrees Celsius. This temperature change results in a softer, thinner skin due to the slower growth of the skin. This mimics the evolutionary conditions of prehistoric bananas, making them hardier and sweeter. This particular banana variety is grown in nutrient-rich soils without chemical fertilizers, ensuring the production of organic quality bananas. Banana plants also require adequate watering with clean, unpolluted water. Furthermore, the controlled growing environment reduces exposure to pests and pathogens. Therefore, farmers do not need to use pesticides that are harmful to bananas. Each banana plant is carefully tended from planting to fruiting, and even the individual bananas are regularly observed to ensure quality. Although grown in greenhouses with controlled temperature and humidity, they still receive natural sunlight to grow better. While regular banana varieties take about 9 to 12 months to harvest, mangi bananas only take 4 months from planting to harvest. This helps to greatly shorten the time for farms to cultivate, and the high price makes mangi bananas increasingly become a high-value commodity. Mangi bananas are harvested only by hand, with farmers using a sharp knife to cut each bunch of bananas while the bunch is still on the tree. After harvesting, farmers continue to separate each banana's still green peels out of the banana bunch and wash away the dirt on the fruit. Next, each banana is dried with clean and soft towels. They are arranged evenly on each plastic tray and then placed in a closed room with a temperature of about 17 degrees Celsius and 77% humidity to create an environment to ripen bananas. After 14 days, each banana is evenly ripened with a beautiful bright yellow color. Due to ripening in low temperature conditions, mangi bananas have a longer shelf life than regular banana varieties. Each banana is wrapped in a separate bag and labeled with information about its origin and source. After that, mangi banana products will be transported to places of consumption. Mangi bananas are not yet mass-produced because of the high cost. To grow this type of banana, farmers must install greenhouse systems to regulate the temperature, which is the most important step. Also, because of the high cost of cultivation, the price of mangi bananas is 20 times higher than normal bananas. This type of banana is also only consumed in some areas because the yield is still low. Many people are curious about the taste of this unique banana and taste it to see if it is different from the usual banana varieties. The banana peel is usually soft and thin during the growing process due to special cultivation techniques and no chemical treatment. So, it has a slightly different texture and milder flavor than the fruit inside. Its flavor makes it easier for people to accept. Mangi bananas are much sweeter than regular varieties, with a sugar content of around 24.8 grams per 100 grams, compared to 18 to 20 grams in regular bananas. This makes them a good choice for those who enjoy sweeter fruit. Bananas are one of the most popular and widely consumed fruits in the world, with billions of them harvested annually across tropical and subtropical regions. The world produces 135 million tons of bananas each year, and the value of the growing banana industry is estimated at $25 billion. Let's explore how farmers harvest and process large quantities of bananas. The banana industry is an important economic sector in countries such as Ecuador, the Philippines, India, and Central America. Banana production and export provide livelihoods for millions of workers, from smallholder farmers to large-scale plantations. Every day, farmers harvest hundreds of tons of bananas to be shipped to processing plants. Bananas are harvested while still green and unripe to ensure they survive the long journey to markets around the world. Harvesting typically takes place 8 to 10 months after planting, depending on the region and weather conditions. This process is labor-intensive, as many plantations harvest bananas by hand to avoid damaging the fruit. Harvesters use knives to cut banana bunches from the trees, being careful not to damage the fruit or surrounding trees. Each bunch can weigh up to 40 kilograms, so workers must be skilled at carrying heavy loads to the collection point. Because the bunches are heavy, each harvester also places a soft cloth or foam pad on their shoulders to avoid injuring or damaging the bananas. Large-scale plantations of hundreds of hectares often use pulleys that can harvest thousands of banana bunches per day. Harvesting bananas using a pulley is a more efficient and safer method. Workers tie heavy bunches of bananas to a rope that is threaded through a pulley mechanism. Once secured, the pulley allows the bananas to be lowered into the bin or container in a slow, controlled manner. This reduces the risk of damaging the fruit and prevents worker injury. This method of harvesting bananas increases productivity and worker safety, while ensuring high-quality yields, making it an increasingly popular method in commercial banana farming. After harvest, bananas are transported from the fields to processing facilities where they undergo sorting, washing, and packaging. Post-harvest handling is critical to ensuring that bananas maintain their quality during transport to consumer markets, which can be thousands of miles away from the plantation. At processing facilities, bananas are graded according to size, weight, and appearance. Only bananas that meet quality standards, are uniform in color, and free of blemishes are exported. Each bunch of bananas is washed to remove dirt or banana sap. The washing process also helps cool the fruit and slows down the ripening process. After washing and sorting, the bananas are packed into boxes or crates designed to protect them during transport. The boxes are carefully stacked to minimize damage during transport. The packing process is usually done by hand, although some larger facilities may use a mechanized system to assist in the operation. Bananas are also an important ingredient in the food processing industry, such as confectionery or snacks. Bananas are put into specialized machines to be sliced into thin slices and then dried or fried. Dried bananas are also popular in many regions, contributing to the diversity of the banana processing industry. Today, the banana industry operates on a massive scale, with millions of tons of bananas produced, processed, and shipped around the world each year. Countries like Ecuador are the world's largest exporters of bananas, shipping over 6 million tons annually and worth $3.68 billion. While the Philippines and India also play a major role in the global banana trade. These bananas are sold in supermarkets and local markets all over the world, from Europe and North America to Asia and Africa.
Would you believe that the world's heaviest pumpkin weighs 1,237 kg? Wow! It's equal to the weight of a large truck. I can't even believe that pumpkin really exists. So how did people grow it? And why is its size and weight so awesome? To understand clearly, don't miss any details in today's video. Giant pumpkin farms are grown and harvested this way. Of course, creating a pumpkin as heavy as a car is not simple, because regular pumpkin seeds cannot produce a giant pumpkin. Giant seeds are needed, but achieving great weight requires superior genetics and many other factors. Garden growing space is important. Each garden should be about 1,000 square feet. This area sounds quite large, but is essential for plant growth. Avoid shady areas and choose a site with a well-drained surface. Growing giant pumpkins requires starting early. Seeds should be sown individually and started in pots around the end of April. After about 10 to 14 days after sowing, the plants will grow leaves and be planted in the garden to have more open space. Plants can be protected from late spring frosts using floating row covers, cold frames, or small greenhouses. Pumpkins with shallow roots should be watered slowly with at least 1 inch of water per week if rainfall is insufficient. More water may be needed on hot and windy summer days, so watering should be done in the morning or early afternoon. Overhead sprinklers are effective, however wet leaves increase the risk of disease, especially angular leaf spot, bacterial blight, and powdery mildew. Therefore, watering at the base of the plant is a way to prevent pests for your pumpkins. Once the pumpkins have fruited and reached volleyball size, cut them all back to just a single pumpkin per plant. The less competition for nutrients, the higher the success rate of achieving giant-sized pumpkins. Because of the size and rapid growth of these pumpkins, pruning the vines and roots is important. This will prevent breakage and splitting of the stem. To protect pumpkins from direct sunlight, shade them with burlap or other lightweight material. A plain white bedsheet covering the pumpkin with the stem exposed will also suffice. This will prevent premature hardening of the outer skin and will allow the pumpkin to reach its full genetic potential in terms of physical size. The day will finally come to harvest the giant pumpkin. With a weight of thousands of pounds, transporting them is not easy. Giant pumpkins weighing nearly 700 pounds will require a different kind of technique to move and transport them. There are several types of lift frames and belts that can be made for use with tractor-mounted loaders and front-end loaders. Smaller pumpkins can be transported in the bed of a pickup truck using a pulley system. So where are these pumpkins transported and for what purpose? The giant pumpkins will be put on display or participate in locally organized competitions. The most famous pumpkin contest in the world is held in California, USA. This contest took place for the 50th time, and this is the pumpkin that won the championship with a weight of up to 1,237 kg, successfully breaking the world record. Previously, the giant pumpkin recognized by Guinness weighed 1,215 kilos in 2021. Do you know how this giant pumpkin was treated after setting the Guinness World Record? The pumpkin was made into a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween, and it went on to win the Guinness World Record as the world's largest jack-o'-lantern in 2022. Have any of you seen a jack-o'-lantern? Is this one giant enough? Exhibitions are also held in some European countries for farmers to display the largest and most beautiful pumpkins. Indeed, these are all very meaningful competitions for gardeners and visitors. Do you find gardening interesting, especially pumpkin gardening? Giant pumpkins not only help you feel happier, but also to conquer challenges. Try growing a pumpkin plant and taking good care of it, ensuring that you'll have many positive changes in your life.
Did you know that garlic was once shunned by British and American cultures because its pungent smell lingered even after meals? However, by the late 1900s, the United States had emerged as the garlic capital of the world. About 24,000 acres of garlic were grown each year, yielding a total of about 400 million pounds. Large-scale factories and farms were once the pride of their country. So, what happened to the industry? Why did the million-dollar garlic factories close? Join me in today's video to find out the truth. The story of garlic in America begins in the early 1890s, when immigrants from Southern Europe arrived in California's Santa Clara Valley. With fertile soil and a mild climate, garlic quickly became a staple in vegetable gardens. However, it wasn't until early 1929 that commercial garlic cultivation really took off, and the largest garlic farms were born. The garlic industry has emerged as a national phenomenon, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for farmers. California is the largest producer of garlic in the United States, with 90% of the country's garlic grown and processed here. The smell of garlic wafts through the towns, so you can easily recognize this as a large-scale garlic processing area. In the United States, garlic is usually planted in the fall, in carefully plowed and prepared raised beds. The timing of planting is extremely important. Plant early enough so that the soil does not freeze before the root system develops, but late enough that they do not emerge from the ground. According to statistics, there are hundreds of varieties of garlic grown in the United States, but the most common on farms are California early and California late. The garlic cloves will be planted about 1.5 inches deep. On large-scale farms, garlic planting is mainly done with specialized transplanters, which optimizes time and effort. Garlic takes about 9 months to grow and is ready to harvest when 40 to 60% of the leaves turn yellow, usually around mid-July. On some farms, garlic can be harvested by hand, but modern farms today often use automated machinery for greater efficiency. From the field, garlic is cleaned and transported to the processing plant, where sorting and packaging take place. Typically, garlic is sold by the pound, by the vine, or by the bulb. However, dried garlic accounts for about 75% of garlic consumed in the United States, so dried garlic processing plants are becoming more popular. Modern high-capacity machinery ensures that garlic is supplied to both domestic and export markets. One of the largest and most famous garlic producers in the United States is Gilroy, California. It even holds an annual garlic festival to celebrate this valuable crop. And you may not know it, April 19th is that anniversary. While once the garlic capital of the world, the US garlic industry has lost that status. By 1990, Chinese garlic had flooded the US market with about 60 million pounds. This imported garlic was about 4 times cheaper than American garlic, which severely affected the industry. Although the US government raised tariffs to curb the impact of Chinese garlic, many garlic farms closed. Half of California's largest garlic packing plants have disappeared in the past decade. In just a few months, the amount of cheap garlic imported into the United States is nearly equal to the annual production of Christopher Ranch, the largest garlic packing plant in the country. In addition, a shortage of workers has caused garlic farms to shrink. Therefore, their only solution to this problem is to increase wages for workers. This also leads to increased labor costs, affecting profits and decisions to develop farms. All these factors have pushed large-scale garlic farms and factories in the United States into an unprecedented, difficult situation. The garlic industry in the United States is no longer as dominant as it once was. But in this situation, farmers still find a ray of hope. New directions have been implemented to increase profits, as the average American consumes 2.5 pounds of garlic per year. One of the most popular trends today is organic garlic production. With health awareness and changing consumption habits, consumers are increasingly paying attention to the quality and safety of products. Therefore, many farms are also applying organic garlic growing techniques to meet this demand. Therefore, there are special garlic products priced up to $1 per bulb. In addition, increasing modern machinery and equipment and reducing labor are also effective ways to increase productivity and limit costs. Farms are gradually focusing on product quality. It is predicted that garlic production in the United States will continue to increase in the coming years. This is a positive signal for garlic factories to recover and develop in the future. Do you think the US garlic production and processing industry will regain its glory? Please share your opinion in the comments section.
Usually farmers wait for the right rains to harvest a bountiful harvest, but it's different for date and grape growers in Pakistan. Rain can ruin crops, so they always hope for dry weather. However, not every season in Pakistan has delicious dates and grapes. To overcome this, farmers have come up with special preservation methods. Let's find out how they preserve these precious products all year round. This is how Pakistani farmers preserve 1,000-year-old dates and grapes. Pakistan is one of the world's largest producers and exporters of dates, with an annual output of around 560,000 tons. Arid regions such as Sindh and Balochistan contribute more than 90% of the country's date production. Date palm can grow up to 30 meters tall, with over 300 different varieties. Dates are nutritious, rich in vitamins and minerals, and good for health. During Ramadan, dates are a valuable source of energy for those fasting. It takes about 7 months from when the date palm flowers until the fruit can be harvested. The dates are hand-pollinated, which takes place around September to October when the temperature is most favorable. Male date pollen can be stored and used when needed. Usually when the dates reach the ripening stage, the farmers will start harvesting. Each heavy bunch of dates is picked. The damaged dates are removed, then all will be transported to the factory to be separated from the bunch. The yellow dates are washed and blanched in boiling water for about 15 to 20 minutes, then dried. It takes up to 5 days for dates to become dry dates and be ready for packaging before sale. In this way, dates can be exported around the world without being damaged. Today, there are dry date processing factories with the support of modern machinery, making the production of dry dates easier. In particular, production according to modern processes also helps control quality, thereby increasing the value of the product in the market. Fresh dates are usually exported to countries like the United States, Canada, France, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia, Germany, UAE, etc. While dried dates are mainly exported to India. About 95% of the exports are dried dates, and only about 5% are exported as sterilized fresh dates, which is even less than 1% of the total date production in the country. Similar to date palms, grapes are also an important part of Pakistan's agriculture. Although grapes do not require as much sunlight as date palms, they are also suitable for growing in dry, loose soil. According to statistics, more than 70% of Pakistan's grape production is concentrated in Balochistan and some small neighboring regions. Most of the grapes will be sold as fresh grapes, serving local demand. Fresh grapes cannot produce all year round. To keep these berries fresh for the longest time, they use a very unique preservation method, clay barrels. First, they use clay to shape deep barrels of suitable size and then dry them. Then they will put fresh grapes inside and cover them with another clay lid. These clay containers will be sealed with wet clay, ensuring that there are no gaps. Finally, these clay containers will be buried underground or placed in warehouses where the temperature is the coolest. With this special preservation method, grapes can be kept for about 6 months without spoiling. This is an extremely special method and bears the mark of traditional culture. Grapes and dates are crops that are suitable for the soil and climate of Pakistan. However, in reality, the export value of these products is not really high. Therefore, in the future, the government and farmers will have to change the methods of planting, caring, harvesting and processing to bring higher profits. So we have learned together the process of producing and preserving date and grapes in Pakistan. These unique secrets not only demonstrate the ingenuity of farmers, but also contribute to preserving traditional agricultural culture.
Hello everyone! Today we will explore together one of the secrets that helps Japanese people live long and healthy. Can you guess? It is green tea. But don't think that green tea is just something to drink to stay awake. It also brings many health benefits. So, why is Japanese green tea so famous? And what makes it the secret to a long and healthy life? Let's find out right away. If you think tea is just a regular drink, you are completely wrong with the Japanese. In Japan, tea is not just tea, it is art. That's right, the tea ceremony, or chado, is an important part of Japanese culture. And if you think that the tea ceremony is just for show, you are wrong. Tea ceremony is the way for Japanese people to keep their souls pure and their health forever. Not only that, green tea also has a superpower that you never knew. It not only helps Japanese people relax, but also brings spiritual benefits, thereby helping them maintain their health and longevity. If you think tea is just a regular drink, you are completely wrong with the Japanese. In Japan, tea is not just tea, it is art. That's right, the tea ceremony, or chado, is an important part of Japanese culture. And if you think that the tea ceremony is just for show, you are wrong. Tea ceremony is the way for Japanese people to keep their souls pure and their health forever. Not only that, green tea also has a superpower that you never knew. It not only helps Japanese people relax, but also brings spiritual benefits, thereby helping them maintain their health and longevity. First, you need to know that Japanese green tea has an extremely meticulous growing and processing process. Japanese green tea is produced in special lands such as Shizuoka, Uji, Kagoshima, and Fukuoka. These places have a temperate climate and fertile soil, which is ideal for growing tea. For example, Shizuoka, known as the tea capital of Japan, produces about 40% of the country's tea. Together with Uji in Kyoto, which has a history of tea cultivation of more than 1,200 years, these two regions are considered the cradle of tea cultivation in Japan. It is difficult to find a place in the world with such a long history of tea production and excellent tea quality. Tea cultivation in Japan has long been modernized and highly productive, with mechanization and the use of genetics earlier than in other producing countries. The main tea variety grown in Japan is Yabukita, a hybrid created by Hikosaburo Sugiyama. The requirements for growing tea are also very strict. The main tea growing areas are in the monsoon climate zone, with hot, humid summers and cold, dry winters. First, the tea plants need to be grown in light, well-drained soil. Tea gardens are often planted on sandy hillsides where the tea plants grow best. The tea plants can be protected from the weather, mainly frost and hail, by placing tarps and small fans over the plantations. This helps move air towards the tea plants on the ground to prevent cold air from accumulating and the plants from freezing, especially in the spring when the buds begin to open. This is one of the characteristic features of the tea landscape in Japan. Picking or harvesting is the most labor-intensive step in tea production. The timing of the harvest greatly determines the quality of the tea. The harvest season lasts from late April to October, with the first harvest, April to May, called Shincha, new tea, which is the most sought-after tea. It is also the most expensive harvest. This is followed by 3 more harvests in the summer and fall, from June to October, which are of lower quality and softer prices. Japan is the most technologically advanced tea-growing country, with 90% of the harvesting process mechanized. However, only the best quality teas are picked by hand. This process requires meticulousness and long-term experience of the farmer. Japanese green tea has many different types, from high-quality matcha used in tea ceremonies to popular teas such as sencha, gyokuro, bancha. Each type of tea has its own production process, from leaf picking, processing, to packaging. After the tea is harvested, the tea leaves are processed through many meticulous steps to preserve their color and nutrients. This process includes steaming the tea leaves to preserve their fresh flavor, then drying them to a certain moisture level. Teas such as sencha or gyokuro are dried and then graded according to quality. Sencha is the most popular tea, accounting for about 70% of Japan's tea production, and has a light and refreshing flavor. One of the teas that is also loved by many people is matcha. This tea is also processed in the same way as sencha or gyokuro. However, when the tea leaves are dried, they will be ground into a fine powder. This tea is highly valued and exported to many markets such as the US, China, Korea, etc. Japanese green tea has many different types, from high-quality matcha used in tea ceremonies to popular teas such as sencha, gyokuro, bancha. Each type of tea has its own production process, from leaf picking, processing, to packaging. After the tea is harvested, the tea leaves are processed through many meticulous steps to preserve their color and nutrients. This process includes steaming the tea leaves to preserve their fresh flavor, then drying them to a certain moisture level. Teas such as sencha or gyokuro are dried and then graded according to quality. Sencha is the most popular tea, accounting for about 70% of Japan's tea production, and has a light and refreshing flavor. One of the teas that is also loved by many people is matcha. This tea is also processed in the same way as sencha or gyokuro. However, when the tea leaves are dried, they will be ground into a fine powder. This tea is highly valued and exported to many markets such as the US, China, Korea, etc. To preserve the precious nutrients in tea, tea manufacturers in Japan pay great attention to temperature control during processing. Japanese people drink green tea every day, not only to relax, but also to protect their health. They believe that the antioxidants in tea can help prevent disease and prolong life. Research shows that catechins in green tea can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and strengthen the immune system. Japan is currently one of the largest tea-producing countries in the world, with an output of up to 80,000 tons of tea per year, of which most of the tea is consumed domestically. The rest will be exported abroad, mainly to the United States. However, according to reports, Japan still has to import a large amount of tea from neighboring countries such as China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. That shows that the potential of the tea-growing industry in Japan is huge. To preserve the precious nutrients in tea, tea manufacturers in Japan pay great attention to temperature control during processing. Japanese people drink green tea every day, not only to relax, but also to protect their health. They believe that the antioxidants in tea can help prevent disease and prolong life. Research shows that catechins in green tea can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and strengthen the immune system. Japan is currently one of the largest tea-producing countries in the world, with an output of up to 80,000 tons of tea per year, of which most of the tea is consumed domestically. The rest will be exported abroad, mainly to the United States. However, according to reports, Japan still has to import a large amount of tea from neighboring countries such as China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. That shows that the potential of the tea-growing industry in Japan is huge. Americans consume nearly 400 million pounds of cranberries each year, with 20% of those consumed during Thanksgiving week. On average, each American consumes about 2.3 pounds of cranberries each year. However, not everyone knows how these cranberries are produced. Have you ever wondered how these cranberries are harvested? The secrets revealed in today's video may surprise you. Let's explore now. Cranberries are native to the swamps of northeastern North America. They are a group of evergreen dwarf shrubs or low vines that produce red berries when ripe and have a slightly tart taste. Native people used cranberries as food and dye. Today, cranberries are prized for their high vitamin, antioxidant, and fiber content, which provide many health benefits. Studies have shown that this fruit aids the digestive system, strengthens the immune system, and reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. Most cranberries are consumed as juice or juice blends. In the past, this fruit was often consumed seasonally, but now it is consumed year-round in processed form. In 2023, the global cranberry market size is estimated to reach US $2.22 billion and is expected to grow by 4.7% from 2024 to 2030. The United States, Canada, and Chile account for 97% of the world's cranberry production. Approximately 200 billion cranberries are harvested in North America annually, with sales exceeding $1.5 billion US. The demand and consumption of cranberries has increased significantly in recent years, largely due to the growing awareness of the fruit's health benefits. The United States is the world's largest producer of cranberries, especially in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and New Jersey. The most prominent is the Ocean Spray Cooperative, which represents more than 600 cranberry growers. The United States alone consumes about 400 million pounds of cranberries each year, so it's no surprise that the berry is so popular. Every fall, from mid-September to mid-November in North America and from March to May in Chile, cranberries reach their peak of color and flavor, ready to be picked. That's when farmers begin harvesting millions of pounds of cranberries, creating a truly impressive sight. Many people think that cranberries grow underwater. That makes sense, since we often see these juicy berries floating on water. However, that's only part of the harvesting process. Cranberries are typically grown in soft, boggy areas with acidic peat soil, often near wetlands where the cranberries grow on long vines. Cranberries are ripe. The night before harvest, farmers will flood the fields with water about 18 inches deep. They then use a modern thresher, also known as a whirlpool, to agitate the water in the bog, separating the berries from the plants. Each cranberry has a small air pocket that helps it float to the surface.
Hopefully. Yep.
When they're fully afloat, the cranberries will form a sea of red, and farmers will begin using plastic ropes that float on the water to collect the berries. They then use conveyor belts or pumps to load the berries onto trucks, which take them to a receiving station for cleaning and sorting. Cranberries are then processed into jams, juices, and jellies. Over 90% of cranberry production is harvested by the flooding method, as it is convenient and saves time and effort. This method also helps remove fallen leaves, weeds, and pests. In winter, some farms flood their cranberry plants to protect the buds from frost. A small number of cranberries are also harvested using the dry method. This is the best way to get the freshest berries, the kind you can buy at the produce stand each fall. To do this, cranberry growers use a mechanical picker that looks like a large lawnmower. It has metal teeth designed to brush and separate the berries from the plants and collect them in a burlap sack at the back of the machine. However, this method requires higher labor costs and lower yields. Although the cranberry industry has grown on a large scale and is highly profitable, it still faces many challenges. Climate change has a major impact on this crop. Temperature and water irregularities in the swamps affect the growth, flowering, and fruiting, leading to reduced yields. Less cold and loss of ice will create conditions for harmful pests to develop. Therefore, farmers and researchers have tried to find measures to manage and develop this agricultural industry. We have just watched a very unique and impressive cranberry harvesting process. This is an innovative method that helps optimize costs, effort, and time. Today's video ends here. How do you feel about this video? Leave your comments below to let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. And now, goodbye and see you again.